Sasaki is a 45-year-old salaryman who has finally left his last meeting of the day past midnight. He is not going to cook. There is no one waiting at home. Needing food, but more importantly human kindness, he makes his way through the same supermarket as always, eagerly awaiting checkout. The woman he's come to see is young enough to be his daughter, and she treats him with the kind of easy, unhesitating kindness that a man with no family does not get very often. She's warmly working hard, and he gets to witness it, briefly, on his way home. The store feeds him. She gives him something harder to name. He comes back because of both. And across Japan, that same quiet lifeline exists tens of thousands of times over. 38% of Japanese households contain a single occupant. In Tokyo, that number is already past 50%, which means the city where most of this country's workforce resides is already one where more people go home alone than to reunite with anyone. Japan built 57,000 convenience stores for this reality, roughly one for every 2,000 people. In fact, in 2009, the convenience store industry formally declared itself not a retail business, but civic infrastructure. And after the 2011 earthquake, their delivery trucks were classified as emergency vehicles. The word convenience does not cover what these places have become. They are the architecture of a nation that looked at how many people it had left alone and decided to keep them going. Not everyone at those stores is having a quiet interaction. Some are waiting for the exact moment the half-price sticker goes on. Bento is a purposely exaggerated portrait of convenience store food culture in Japan, and what it highlights is its value. High school students who can barely afford to eat watching a full, well-made meal suddenly drop to a price within their reach. Japan's convenience food is genuinely good, the kind of quality that in most countries costs restaurant prices. At half price, it becomes something worth fighting over. The scramble is absurd. The logic underneath it is not. But not everyone who walks through those doors needs rescuing. With a store for every 2,000 people, getting food in Japan carries none of the weight it does elsewhere. Your fridge is empty, so you walk over to a store that is always open, within walking distance and stocked with exactly what you are looking for. Suzume is a British maid who has just run out of the food she brought from home and found her kitchen not yet ready to use. She heads out for breakfast, glad to find the nearest convenience store is already open. She picks out a salted salmon onigiri and a chicken and mixed rice ball, then prepares to enjoy them on a nearby park bench. Before eating, Suzume takes a moment with the packaging, marveling at how well everything is precisely put together to keep the food fresh. In most of the West, convenience store food is what you reach for when you have no better option. But in Japan, it often is the better option. The convenience store is not a sad substitute for something better. It is what a nation builds when it looks at how many of its people are coming home alone and decides they still deserve something good. That is not convenience. That is care. But what about the person who stopped wanting to keep going in the same world? That's Friday.